Good morning, everyone. And thank you once again for joining us this morning as we discuss the power of listening in organizations and demonstrate to you a tool that Great Place to Work has designed that can help organizations effectively listen on a continuous basis. I'm Srimoy, your host for this webinar, and I work with the team that creates some interesting technology solutions at Great Place to Work. We will conduct this webinar in 3 parts. In the first part, we will begin with discussing how critical an element listening is at great workplaces. We will share insights and even present business cases for the power of listening. In the second part of the webinar, we will demonstrate the technology platform from Great Place to Work that will help you maximize your organization's ability to listen and collaborate and connect with employees on a continuous and real-time basis. Towards the end, we will open the session up for questions. On your screen, you may already be able to see a Q&A box, so please feel free to drop in your questions even during the webinar, and we'll address as many as we can in the final part of the webinar. We will also reach out to each one of you post the webinar, so in case we aren't able to address any of your questions today, we'll definitely be able to do so when we connect directly with you. With that, and without further ado, I'm delighted to welcome Basari Datta, Vice President, Great Place to Work. Basari will be sharing with us some insights about the impact that listening organizations have on their employees' experience. And through her extensive work with so many organizations, Basari will also be sharing with us stories of some organizations that have been able to significantly leverage the power of listening. Thank you for joining us, Basari. Over to you.
Thank you, Srimoy, and a very warm welcome and good morning to all the listeners and participants. And I'm truly delighted to co-host this webinar with my colleague Srimoy. Are you listening to your people, really? That is the theme that we are going to discuss in today's webinar. And also, what is a practical way of listening to your employees continuously and on a real-time basis? As many of you may be aware, at Great Place to Work, we help the organizations and partner them in their journey of building high-trust, high-performance cultures by using our expert knowledge of the best workplaces globally. And how do we actually do it is by way of our employee survey and feedback solutions, both the episodic and the continuous real-time variety. And today we will talk at length about the continuous real-time feedback mechanism. We also help organizations in enabling and certifying line managers or people managers such that they truly own the quality of workplace experience for their set of people. Then we also support the organizations in capability building of their HR teams, or enable a set of culture champions by equipping them to design and deploy effective, contextual, and world-class people practices. And last but not the least, we also offer opportunities to organizations to project and celebrate their employer brand through our various certification and recognition programs of the best workplaces. Our theme for today's webinar is, are you really listening to your employees? This begs the question as to why is it important to be a listening organization? Well, our research at Great Place to Work shows that the organizations that are built to be great workplaces have the culture of listening to their employees as one of their fundamental principles. So a listening culture leads to a great workplace culture, which in turn delivers sustained business results. Our research also shows that listening can have at least 3 times the impact on the overall engagement levels of the organization. Also, the gains of the listening organization are significant. And there are 3 examples that I wanted to showcase today, namely, McDonald's. The second company that I'll talk about is Mahindra Sustain. And the third company that I'll talk about is 3M, right? And so McDonald's, we all know about the Happy Meals that they have for children. Now, this is not something that was designed by one of the product designers at McDonald's. It was designed by an employee because they have multiple forums where they listen to their employees. And so in one such forum, one of the employees came out with a particular suggestion that we could design a happy box, a happy meal box for our customers who are children below a certain age. That took off in a big way, and it is so popular all over the world. Every day they sell more than 3 million happy meals. The second story is that of Mahindra Sustain, which is into alternate energy, and they have solar energy solutions. So basically, it's a clean energy space that they are addressing. And this particular company, Mahindra Sustain, is doing that. Now, Mahindra as a group, most of their companies and businesses are also great workplace cultures. And at the heart of their workplace culture is this factor of listening, and they have embedded it in every possible way. And so one of the practices that they have is that of a shadow board. So about 7 very promising managers below the age of 35 are picked, hand-picked and chosen to be a part of this shadow board. And in one of their deliberations, this shadow board came out with an idea that we could have solarized rooftops for small business establishments. So for example, take a petrol pump where we all go and get our vehicles refilled. That could have a solarized rooftop, and that itself could not only sustain the entire establishment or that petrol pump, but this gave way to starting a complete business vertical of its own at Mahindra Sustain. It reduced the setup time from 14 days to 4 days, brought down costs, operational costs for the business establishments that were customers. And so that is, one of the examples of listening. And the third one is 3M, which is a very popular story. Everybody knows about it practically in the corporate world. And this is Post-its that we use in every business establishment. This is something that, an employee called Art Fry, he came up with this idea of the need for, a glued kind of small chits where one could write messages, also have thoughts and ideas put up on a board, and which could be then taken off very easily. And this is today a 1 billion annual revenue producing or generating business for 3M. So this is really the power of listening and what benefits organizations reap, the ones that listen to their employees. There are 2 more quick examples that I wanted to share closer home. Eureka Forbes is a company which we are all aware of. They are into cleaning solutions, so vacuum cleaners, water purifiers, etc. And very early on, they realized that it was to make a success of the business, which is so dispersed. They have a large sales team, which is feet on street, knocking on people's doors, trying to sell their cleaning solutions in every part of India, small, large towns, large cities, small towns, everywhere. And in such a dispersed kind of business setup, they realized that it was very critical to listen to their employees in order to have their ears close to the ground and close to the customer. And they could only do that through their employees. So what they did was that this was the time which was prior to the times when we had smartphones, right? So at that time, they devised a mechanism wherein they replicated the political model of the country. So like you have Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, where we send back our elected representatives who then represent us, and they formulate laws, etc. for us as a part of the government. Now they replicated the same thing. They divided all the sales territories into constituencies. These constituencies in turn sent back elected representatives, and these were absolute elected representatives who were chosen by their colleagues in their local area, who then came back and formed two bodies, the Eurosenate and the House of Eurochamps. These are like your Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Very important decisions get passed through these two bodies. What they do is that they are able to give an opportunity to employees all over the organization dispersed across the country to really have their opinions and participate in the discourse that is going on in the organization, and also have a role to play in running the business, right? The second example is of more recent times, uh, from the time when we saw, cell phones and technology, of course, the form and shape in which it is available today come center stage. Many organizations started slightly tweaking the pre-existing mechanisms that they had in order to really enable listening to their employees. And how did they do that? A lot of these companies had these intranet portals called, Ask the MD, Ask the CEO, those kind of portals. And people would, post questions, and once in a while they would take up those questions and answer. To make it more interesting, and more real time, what many of these organizations did was that they tweaked the system in such a way that while everybody in the organization, all employees were able to log in questions, everybody else was able to view those questions and vote real time. And so, in the collective wisdom of the organization, at any point in time, you had those top 2 or 3 key themes, issues, questions that were bearing on everybody's minds, that the management or the leadership team would then make it a point to address those questions with a lot of rigor and discipline. And that really built a culture, helped in building a culture of very active, fruitful discourse within the organization. And these organizations were truly listening organizations, which are also great workplaces. So eventually, many of them became great workplaces as well. So listening played a very, very critical role in their journey of building a great workplace culture. And so that begs the question as to what are some of the practical ways of listening to our people. And that's exactly what Srimoy is going to tell us and show us. Srimoy?
Thank you so much, Basari. Thank you for that. Before we move on to demonstrating the tool itself, I thought it may be helpful for us to quickly summarize. There's so many interesting stories that Basari shared with us. And sometimes you get engrossed in some of these stories, just listening to how impactful, very simple possibly ways can be to be able to enhance the ability for organizations to listen. So I'll quickly summarize a little bit of what she said. One of the ways, or one of the most important aspects of being a listening organization, we've seen that organizations who listen very carefully are able to actually influence the narrative. And by influencing the narrative, we mean that they're always available and therefore are always able to be to rapidly move with what the narrative in the organization may be, and thereby influence it in the direction that they'd like for the culture or for the organization to actually be like for their employees. They're able to connect and collaborate with their employees, like Basri was sharing, right? It's a very effective way for these organizations to be able to connect with their employees, to be able to collaborate with them, to be able to listen to them, to be able to get some ideas in terms of how the organization can actually be a better place for them. They're also able to therefore communicate far more effectively. What they're trying to share reaches their employees directly in the areas that employees would like to communicate with them about. The next important aspect about continuous feedback is the ability to be able to take rapid action. Organizations who listen on a continuous basis are able to address concerns in real time because they're able to understand right now instead of waiting for the annual survey. They're able to understand in real time what the concerns may be for their employees and are therefore able to address them before they fester, before they become issues that they would have liked to have addressed in the past, before the issues become far more serious than those that can actually be resolved. They're also therefore able to manage a lot of risks that would otherwise have, the organization would have otherwise had to face, especially in terms of being able to create a certain kind of experience for their employees and retaining, therefore, high performing employees. The last aspect is actually, we've realized through our experience of working with a lot of organizations when it comes to continuous feedback, the last aspect is also very, very important. Especially when listening on a continuous basis, organizations would like to configure and to be able to ask the right kind of questions that may be very contextual as well. And therefore, when I take you through the tool that we've developed at Great Place to Work, you'll be able to realize how we've incorporated these things as well. So whether it's about, while we do have a research-backed framework, a few research-backed frameworks that you may choose to implement within your organization, there is also space for organizations to be able to ask the questions that they'd like to ask, to be able to ask questions that may be relevant to certain kinds of interventions that may have taken place within the organization recently, to be able to ask questions about impact that may have taken place on employees due to a recent event. Secondly, we've, of course, also through our research understood that managers play a very, very critical role in organizations. And for managers as well, their teams may actually be very contextual. They'd like to be able to take action in their own focused pockets. And our tool also allows organizations to be able to empower managers in this way. Managers are able to see something like a scorecard. They're able to see their own data sliced and diced, and they're able to understand what they may need to do differently within their teams to be able to enhance the experience. Finally, organizations are also able to download. So while this may be continuous data that is gathering on the dashboard for organizations, there's always the ability to be able to download this data, because we understand that there's going to be requirements for us to present this at various forums, especially if we'd like to drive the importance of this feedback that we're receiving from our employees. So all of this is actually possible through our tools, which I will transition into as a next step. So what I'm going to be able to show you right now is the online portal, the technology platform that we have at Great Place to Work that enables us to listen on a continuous basis. For some of you who are already familiar with the work that Great Place to Work does, some of these words that you see on the top of the dashboard right now may actually be very familiar to you. The dimensions that you see, or the names of the dimensions that you see on the top of my screen, right below the words culture dashboard, are actually the 5 dimensions of the trust index. I will take you through 2 instruments today, but I'd like to begin with the overarching understanding that the technology platform remains the same. There are 2 instruments that are available at this point in time as we possibly develop even further ones that may be contextual and important for different organizations to be able to utilize. At this point, there are 2 continuous feedback instruments that organizations may choose to use. The first one that I am showing on my screen right now is the real-time trust index pulse that allows you to measure and understand how you may be, or how your organization may be doing at any point in time with respect to the 5 dimensions of the trust index, the one that you may already be measuring at the time of the annual survey, if you do so, if you do implement that from Great Place to Work in your organization. The tool itself, or the portal itself, is not limited by instruments. The portal allows you to gather feedback about any dimension, in fact, or any aspect of culture that is relevant or important for your organization. The reason why we wanted to show this to you is because we wanted to share that the portal is instrument agnostic. This is one aspect that you can measure. So this is a landing page of the technology portal, which gathers an overall understanding and gives you a quick snapshot of what the culture within your organization may be like at any point in time. I will now take you through a detailed understanding of how the platform works. So now very quickly, you'll be able to see that I have moved to a very similar looking dashboard because like I said, the platform itself is the same. However, the 5 dimensions that you see on the top half of my screen are slightly different because what we call this instrument is the CEO culture dashboard. The purpose of the instruments, of course, are slightly different, and we can use the ones that are more relevant for your organization after a discussion with you. When I am, again, this entire screen that you see on your, the screen that I'm sharing right now that you're able to see is actually the landing page, again, giving you an overall summary of how people within your organization are feeling on a continuous basis across these 5 dimensions of culture. The scores that you see at the center of each of the dimensions, and you were able to see even on the earlier screen that I was sharing, is actually indicative of the percentage of positive responses that our employees are sharing on a continuous basis. And now, by now, I'm sure a lot of you may be asking, how do we, or thinking about how do we arrive at this particular score? When we say continuous basis, how is it really implemented? So any of these instruments that we use for the continuous feedback tools, they range from about 20 to about at the most 30 statements as a whole. Through this portal, your employees receive only one statement from the entire instrument a day. This part is actually very critical because we'd also like for organizations to be able to understand how actually simple it is for your employees also to be able to answer these questions, and how simple it is for you to, at an organizational level, get such an easily understandable and an aggregate information about what your people may be feeling about each of these dimensions. Like I was saying, your employees receive one statement from the entire instrument on any working day. Over the course of about 20 to 30 working days, depending upon the size of your instrument, employees get different statements from the instrument. So every day there's a sense of novelty. Employees are receiving different questions or different statements. And we've understood from some of our clients who are working with us on this technology platform that it takes employees approximately almost just about 30 seconds to be able to answer their statement of the day. They receive one statement with a 5-point rating scale. This rating scale helps them tell us how favorably or how true an experience may be within their organization at that point in time. So while one person may be receiving different statements on different working days, on a single working day, different employees within your organization will be receiving different statements, thereby allowing you to access this aggregate information about the organizational perception. The dashboards throughout will always allow you to filter your data or slice and dice your data by different time periods and different groups of employees as well. So this is only scratching the surface. This particular screen on the dashboard is only scratching the surface, because when I click on any one of these, I am immediately taken to the next level of data breakdown, which essentially helps me understand how different groups within my organization are feeling on these same dimensions as well. So I can filter through each one of these dimensions. I'm able to filter through each one of the different groups within my organization as well. So if you decide to implement this within your organization, we'll ask you to map your employees to certain groups. So you'll be able to slice and dice your data across each one of your groups, across each one of the dimensions that you're measuring. And of course, at Great Place to Work, since we have had the opportunity to work with so many thousands of organizations, one of the the positive aspects as well of using this portal is the ability to be able to benchmark yourself. So you will be able to choose 3 benchmarks of relevance to your organization, such that you're always able to keep your eyes on where you'd like to be or where you'd aspire to be versus where your organization or your different teams within your organizations may be at this point, thereby understanding which areas you may need to move forward a little bit in, where you may be doing all right. As a next step, you're also able to cut and slice your data even further, because now you can actually move into statement-wise scores. So irrespective of the instrument that you are using, the portal will allow you to be able to look at each one of your statements. And in fact, if you like to, you can also look at each one of your statements across each one of your groups as well. So what you see on my screen right now are the statements of this particular instrument, and these scores indicate to us the percentage of positive sentiment that our employees are feeling about any one of these statements. Thereby, even if on the overall dashboard, I felt like my scores on employee engagement may have been rather positive, it helps me understand where I may want to do better, where are my employees asking me for a little bit more attention to be able to improve even the experience, the employee engagement dimension for my people. In addition to that, employees also have the option to share a comment. So not only can they rate each area of their experience on a 5-point scale, they can also share a comment that helps us understand why they may rate a particular area of experience the way that they do. And that gives organizations a lot of that gives them a lot of understanding about which direction they'd like to work to be able to improve those particular areas of experience. In fact, we've seen in organizations that have used this extensively and are actually being able to continuously improve their scores on different areas of experience. The leadership actually requests employees to share more and more comments such that they're better able to understand where those ratings may be coming from and are able to understand what practices they may continue, what they'd like to stop, what they'd like to modify accordingly. Here too, you can filter your scores at any point in time through different time filters as well. So you're able to understand how scores may have increased or decreased. And then of course, finally, you're also able to see your trends, or you can see how each one of your statements may have increased in terms of positive or slightly lesser positive responses. You can always understand how your scores may have shifted at any point in time, as well as across different dimensions as well. Do allow me a second. I will come back in a moment to be able to show the screen to you as well. In the meanwhile, I'll also show you what the other features are. So like I was saying, employees get to share all of the comments that they have for us in one place. So that is very helpful for us as well. So if I just look at the dummy data that is available for us to be able to look at for this dashboard, just allow me 1 second.
Hi Shrimoy, would you want me to share my screen?
Yes, that would be very helpful, Balbir. If you do that, I think I'm having a slight bit of internet issue.
So let me know what screen I should go to if my screen is visible.
It's just coming up, Balbir. Thank you so much for that. If you could go to the employee comments, perhaps we can go back to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Srimay, the comments are in front of you.
Thank you so much, Balbir. So when your employees share comments with you across each one of the statements, you will be able to see a rating that they have shared with you. You will also be able to see the comment that each one of them have shared with you. So for example, if you look at the first comment that that shows up on our screen right now, the first rating that you see is a 4, which essentially indicates that this employee, when they were responding to the statements, has chosen a rather favorable response towards the experience that they're having when it comes to the aspect of management shows appreciation for good work and extra effort. On the other hand, when they have tried to explain what creates such a positive experience, they have given a little bit of a comment that you see below that particular statement. So that is the same way that each one of these comments work. So on this screen as well, Balbir, if you could just click on the filter button. On this screen as well, you're able to slice and dice your data. You can look at particular statements. You can also filter particular statements by their rating as well. So if you'd like to know where are all my ratings of 1 and 2 coming from, that is also possible. And in fact, if you'd like to look for certain words from among your statements as well, you can actually put in a particular word that may be of relevance to your organization, and all of the comments which have that word automatically start showing up there. Here too, you can select particular demographies so that you can see where different comments may be coming from, or what different groups of employees may be saying in terms of the experience that they've been having across different statements of your instrument. So these are all the groups. What Balbir is showing us are all the groups that we have within the organization that you would have mapped your employees to, and then we can slice and dice our data to be able to see what each one of these groups are saying. I'll quickly move on to some of the other features that we have on the tool as well. Just in the interest of time, we'd like to take your questions also. If we move on to the polls feature, that allows us, that's the place that an organization can add any statements at any point in time to be able to ask their employees. Now you can ask two kinds of statements. You may want to ask a close-ended statement with options that you would like to share with your employees to respond with. On the other hand, you could also ask open-ended questions, which allows your employees to respond in text. So they can actually comment and share as much as they'd like to without any kind of predefined responses holding them back. They can respond with anything that they'd like to share about the question that you have asked. So you can ask both kinds of questions, and you can ask these questions to either the entire organization, or you may wish to ask it to particular groups within your organization as well. So in case you feel that there are certain groups who you'd like to ask a particular question to only, then you can also share poll questions with them. If you'd like to ask the whole organization, that is also something that is possible. This section allows you to add poll statements at any point in time. What you can do in addition to that is launch these statements depending upon when you would like to launch them. You can launch them at any point in time from the section that is, Balbir, if you could take us to the main column. It allows you to launch the statements at any point in time from the library that we have. In fact, over time, if you run a poll at 2 points in time as well, you are also able to compare the difference in responses from each one of your employees. These are the open-ended, the opportunity to ask open-ended and close-ended questions as well. The other feature that I'd like to take you through is that of the culture snapshot. The culture snapshot essentially is like an executive summary. It basically brings all the information and data together, helps you understand where your scores may have increased overall, where they may have decreased over time. And it also help you break this data down into different kinds of trends. So for example, this is one place where you're not only able to see the positive responses that employees have shared, but you're also able to see the percentage of neutral and negative responses as well. So these color coding actually indicate to us how many or what percentage of our employees have actually been sharing positive sentiments, how many have been neutral or fence sitters, and how many have been sharing negative sentiments with us as well, and therefore helping us understand which areas we'd like to prioritize. You can also move on to various other kinds of analysis that this allows you to do, like a comparison of statements that have significantly increased or decreased over time, a comparison with your benchmarks. So those statements where you're doing very well in comparison to the benchmarks you've selected versus those where you may want to do a little bit better. You can also go into deep dives of each one of the groups that you would have shared with us. This helps you understand how each of your groups are working and responding. Through this selection of stratifier, you can actually look at different kinds of groups as well. And a culture trend also allows you to be able to look at how your data may have shifted over time. Finally, a very important aspect, which is your participation trend. That's also an important aspect for us to keep in mind because it helps us understand how frequently our employees have been responding to each one of our statements. And in case we need to drive any kind of interventions and help our organization respond better to different kinds of statements. So this is sort of like an overall summary of all of the data that has been gathered on the dashboard. Balbir, if you could help me with the column on the left. We've gone through the detailed analysis as well. So I'll actually now move on to the score sheet. The score sheet is, the section on the score sheet is a place where you'll be able to download your data at any point in time. So as you can see, you can choose a benchmark you'd like to look at for this particular point in time. You'd like to look at what kind of sentiment people have been sharing and the particular time period for which they've been sharing their responses for. So you can choose a start date and an end date. Of course, this is going to be static data that you will download versus the dashboard, which will always show you real-time data. You can choose a frequency by which you'd like to look at this data, and you can either generate an overall score sheet or you can look at selecting particular groups to be able to download your data for. So you can actually even download sliced and diced data absolutely, like to the smallest group, of course, without compromising on any anonymity. Like at Great Place to Work, we ensure that all of the data that we share with organizations ensures that that employees always are able to share frank responses because their anonymity is always protected. So as far as this dashboard is concerned, we need a minimum of at least 3 respondents from each one of the groups for us to be able to start showing the data. But as soon as we have that, the data starts showing up for you across these different groups for you to be able to analyze. I think overall, I think these are all of the features, of course, that we have. There is, of course, a detailed breakdown of your participation statistics as well. That actually helps us understand, even within the groups that we have within our organization, what have the responses been like, whether it's over the last 3 months, the last month, or even the last 7 days. This helps us understand whether there are particular groups within which we drive a certain kind of response rate. So in case a particular group you notice has had very poor response, then we may want to drive some interventions with them, encourage them, or even try to understand through focus groups about why they may not be responding. Would you like to go back to the main dashboard, Balbir? I think I'll stop here. I'll also invite Balbir. Balbir is also Vice President and he's the head of our technology and operations team. So Balbir, is there anything else you would like to add about the dashboard before we move on to the Q&A section?
I think, Shrimoy, I don't know if we have shown the employee screen and how does the employee experience the portal.
Yes, we haven't shown that yet. Would you like to open that, or I can share my screen again?
If you have it open, just share your screen so we can quickly show the employee experience, because that's one of the USPs. It doesn't take more than about 30 seconds. Though we will be showing the web screen, this is a mobile app available both on Android as well as Apple. So you have it on Play Store as well as App Store. It can be easily downloaded, and your login credentials is something which is your organization email ID, and the organization can control at what time of the day the notification should go to employees to respond. So if you see, think 10 a.m. is a good time, you can decide the notification for reminder should go at 10 a.m. If you think 5 p.m. is a good time, you can send it at 5 p.m. and it lets you, decide and control your response rate. And if you think lunchtime is a good time, you can do it that way. So yeah, Shrimo is sharing her screen, and I will let her, quickly take us through those two screens.
Thank you so much, Balbir. I hope I don't have any further internet lag so that I can move on to the next screen. So this is for our audiences, this is the landing page again for our employees. So this is the welcome page rather that our employees get to see. This is something that this is purely a template at this point in time. So this is something that you can customize for your employees. You may want to share with them why you're doing something like this, why you're running a continuous feedback tool within the organization. They have a better understanding of it as well. And then all employees need to do is just click on the next button, which is when the statement of the day for them will show up. So what you see on my screen right now is possibly a statement of the day that anybody can get from a particular instrument. As you can see, there is a 5-point rating scale here. So employees simply need to choose off any one of them. When they do so, there is a comment section that comes up for them here, which allows them to share with us why they're feeling the way that they are in case they'd like to do so. And all they need to do here, of course, we've been able to get 2 statements in case someone hasn't responded to the statement from yesterday. So you'll have a limited amount of time to which you can possibly allow employees to over their statements of the day. Of course, we wouldn't want it to become too much for them to answer on one particular morning. So we'd like to possibly limit it to about 2 or 3 statements that you'd like to carry over at any point in time. And then all they need to do is just click on this button. When they do so, this will appear as submit. And when they do so, their responses will get submitted. It will reflect on the dashboard in real time. So like Balbir was saying, this of course is available on the App Store as well as on the Play Store. So at any point in time, your employees can actually download it. They can respond to their statement of the day, but irrespective, they will always receive a nudge from the app or a nudge from the real-time portal so that they are reminded to be able to answer their statement of the day. You can decide at what time you'd like to send your employees a reminder. And at that point in time, they'll get a slight nudge to be able to respond to their statement of the day. I'll stop sharing my screen right now. And perhaps we can move on to the Q&A section. I see that there are already some questions available from our audience. I'll welcome back as well, of course. And Balbir, if we could have you as well in the Q&A session, then we'd love to be able to help our audiences with an answer to some of the questions. I'll of course take the first one. Would the recording of the session be shared with the attendees? Yes. In fact, we will get in touch with you and we will share the recording of the session as well. The next question, Balbir, if you would like to take that, is there anything on text analytics being offered by the platform?
Oh, I think that's a good question. And apart from showing the employee comments, we do have text analytics that will be available to clients. So what it does, how it works, it basically goes through all the verbatim comments that we have and tries to bucket them in themes. So if I have some comments that are related to, wellness, so those will be bucketed under wellness. So we have a few comments that are related to camaraderie at work. So those will be bucketed at camaraderie. So currently our bucketing algorithm is at 82%. So I'll be very frank, accuracy as compared to human evaluation. So we are getting close, but I think this is something which will be available in the next 1 week or so. So any client that we onboard will have access to text analytics also.
Sure. Our next question, and Basari, if you could help us with this. The question is around the frequency of sharing or requesting for feedback from employees. So one of our attendees asks, isn't one question every day too much for the employees? How do we inspire employees to give feedback on a daily basis? Basari, I think you're on mute still.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I think first part I will answer. Second part, Balbir will be, I think, in a great position to answer. So I understand that there is a anxiety, particularly in organizations which are used to the episodic feedback mechanism where once a year you seek feedback from employees. But with the current times, what we have found through our close interaction with multiple organizations, particularly during the pandemic, we saw this where there was a sudden lockdown, and there was no way of the leaders in the organization to get a real sense in terms of what are their people feeling. Yeah. So I guess slowly the world is moving towards real time. I understand that this may not happen all of a sudden, you know like like some of the decisions of our government, but it will not happen overnight. But I suppose that we are moving as a technology society. We are moving towards real time. What it does is that a couple of things. It does not take away or it's not a substitute for a episodic feedback, which is done once a year. That has its own value, because what people do when they are doing that feedback is that they will actually recapitulate their entire experience throughout the year, through the past year, what has happened. And overall, they will evaluate their experience, quality of experience, and based on that, they give feedback. So it is not like absolute based on what happened in the last 1 week. It's never like that. People are reflective when they give the once a year feedback. But the benefit of the real time feedback is that you catch the issues before they snowball into some big time question or problem or some real issue in the organization. So you catch them right at the stage where they are just starting to emerge, as small shoots. So it doesn't take much time. It's less than a minute that a person will take to answer that one question, and goes on with his or her work for the day, right? Typically organizations built it in the first part of the day when you're starting work. And what happens as a result of that, I know as a leader of the organization, on a real time basis, I know that there is something that is brewing in, say, Chandigarh or say Patna, where a set of my people or establishment is. And I immediately deploy or dispatch some of my person to say that, hey, there is an alert. My circuit breaker, tells me that today there is something that is brewing in Chandigarh or Patna. We need to address it immediately. And from the comments, etc., you get a sense of what is the problem. You go and immediately address that. And half the problems are solved by just addressing, acknowledging, and talking about the issue or the problem. So you have a conversation, and that takes care of half the problems, rather than letting it foment, wait for a year till such time the person has made up his or her mind and left the organization. So we actually, so in terms of the second part of the question, Balbir, what is your what is your experience? Because you've been talking to a lot of organizations who have been experimenting, dabbling with this now.
Yeah, I think Basri, thank you, and you have wonderfully answered the first part. So I'll just share a couple of examples and use cases how we have tried to circumvent this problem or the issue. So number one, what we have done is, and especially for really large organizations that has a workforce of more than 5,000, 10,000 employees, for them, even if they get, even if they ask one question per week, that's a lot of data that we are gathering. So if I have 10,000 data points in a week, even if I ask one question per week, that's enough data to do any kind of analysis, whether it's text analysis or understand the trends that are happening in the organization. So we do give that as an option. But we have to understand this is a change management exercise also for the leadership team. So what some of the organizations are doing is, like if you saw when Srimoi was showing us the employee screen, you have a welcome page that you can customize. So, there is an organization that is putting an image, or what are the initiatives that the organization is running. So, you can have an image, or there is an organization that has a CEO video embedded in that welcome page. So every time I go and try to respond to a statement, I have a business leader or a CEO who is giving me a message that why my employee feedback is important and what are the steps that we are taking. So, because we can't expect employees to do all the legwork to keep responding to data feedback, questions on daily basis and not basically go back to them and tell them what are we doing with all the data, all the feedback that we're collecting from them. So these are the some of the things that some organizations are doing, and of course there are other ways. Another organization apart from video and image, what they are doing, they are running an internal campaign. Like they have a monthly campaign. So let's say in last month in January was a vegan month, so they were running a campaign which was uh, this is a vegan month. So we have let's think all the Satvik. They were thinking if we put our Satvik hats on, what are the great things that we are doing in our organization? Tell us about it. Uh, and so, of course, there is a lot of you know um, initiative that some of the HR heads and leaders are taking to get this to make this going. Of course, we as providers, we have the benchmarks. We can provide you the benchmarks. We can share the best practices from one organization to the other organization. But at the end of the day, it is your baby. You have to make sure that you're going back to your employees on the steps that you have taken after listening to their feedback.
Yeah,
I think
there are many
yeah.
organizations, Balbir, that I have had the chance to speak to, who said we make it more interesting and gamify it in such a way that
Yeah,
people keep getting that constant uh, sense that their feedback is being acted upon, and they
exactly.
actually are able to see that uh,
Exactly.
in so many ways.
Exactly. Yes, Srimoy, I think we will run out of time or else. So I want you to ask a few more questions.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we may not be able to address all of them, but I'll just pick a few perhaps that you also may want to share a little bit of information around. There is one question around integration with other tools, Balbir, like WhatsApp and Slack. Is that something that is possible for our tool?
Yeah, WhatsApp integration we have already done for one organization and we are running with it. So that's already done. So should be possible for any organization that can share employee phone numbers. And Slack integration or any other collaboration platform that provides open APIs integration can be done and easily doable. So whether it's Slack or if you're using one of there are so many platforms like Flock, and so any platform that provides open APIs, we can do integration. That should not be a problem at all.
Great. I think we'll be able to take one or two more questions. There is a very interesting question. We may want to think about that as well. So one of our attendees actually has a question about how we can possibly take data from people who are doing blue collar jobs. So our attendee shares that this feedback system is suitable for employees who are doing white collar jobs, but how can we get this same kind of feedback from workers who are doing the blue collar jobs? So for those kinds of organizations, what would your recommendation be? And any of you can possibly address.
Yeah. Okay. I have a use case. Again, we have implemented this for one organization, so I'll just share what we did for them. Of course, even if it's blue collar, we assume that most of your employees will have a smartphone. So there is an app available. It's a small app. It is not very heavy. It doesn't take a lot of data. Doesn't take a lot of space. So you can easily install the app on your phone, and every day you can get a notification. And something that we did not show, it's available in all the languages. Even though we just showed you English language, but for the employee, it's available in any language that you want. So we have it available in all the Indian languages. We have a survey that's running in Korean. We have a survey that's running in Spanish. So all the languages are possible. So blue collar employee with a smartphone is done. But now if you have a blue collar employee who doesn't have smartphone, that should be a small segment. But if there is, so what we are doing with one of the organizations, we have a kiosk set up. So for them, they can always, and like we saw, we can carry ahead questions, one or two questions. So what they do, they go on a weekly basis to that kiosk, they log in with their unique ID and then respond to those questions for a week. So we can change the frequency, we can provide them a kiosk, or we can even do an SMS So if a smartphone is not there, we can even send an SMS where they can click on the link in the SMS and respond to that question. So a lot of ways are available to make it possible. If you are keen on listening to your employees, we will definitely brainstorm with you on ways to make it possible.
And no matter how difficult a demographic group it may be, having some feedback is always better than not having any feedback at all. So even if the frequency is instead of daily, if it's weekly, that's also good enough. But we have some feedback in the process.
Perfect. I think we've come towards the end of our time. Of course, we did have a lot more questions, but we'll possibly reach out to each one of you to be able to understand if you have any further questions and how we can help you answer that. And we look forward to connecting with each one of you over the next few days. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. And thank you, Balbir and Vasari. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us today.
Thank you. It has been a delight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Have a great day ahead.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.